Hello friends, my name is Shilpa Kakkar. I am from M.B.Patel English Medium Secondary and Higher Secondary School. Today I have come with Standard 12th Secretarial Practice and Commercial Correspondence. Today I am going to deal with Secretarial Practice chapter number 1. The name of the chapter is Issue of Shares. In this chapter we are going to learn about the procedure of share application, procedure of share allotment, legal restrictions and provisions on share allotment, irregular and illegal share allotment, renunciation of shares, statement of share allotment, share call, forfeiture of share, and surrender of shares. You should know that what is prospectus. Students, this chapter is very important from the point of view of examination also. This is the basic of what you call as the further studies of secretarial practice. As you will move further, you will come to know about many things of the company. But to know more about the company, first you should know the basics. Let us start with the basic thing, prospectus. What is a prospectus? In a simple word, we can call it as a invitation. Invitation to the public, to general public, to subscribe to the shares. And when they give the invitation, they give the history of the company. So, in a simple word, prospectus is a company invites the general public to subscribe to its shares by an invitation through prospectus. In simple words, if we look at the definition of prospectus, is the prospectus is any kind of notice. We can call it as circular also, an advertisement also, or a simple document through which a public company invites the public to subscribe to its securities. A new word has come up, securities. What is securities? Securities is a fund or the investment. You can invest in any of the forms. You can invest in the form of cash, you can invest in the form of stocks, you can invest in the form of bonds, and you can invest in the form of mutual funds. These are the 4 securities in which we can invest our fund. The company also ask for the investment through private placement. Again, what is private placement? You know, the shares are there. What is the meaning of share? Share means a portion, a small part. And in a very if we use the terminology of trade and commerce, it's a unit, it's a part. So a share is an indivisible unit of capital expressing the ownership relationship between the company and the shareholder. This is ownership relationship. You must be getting confused in these two words. Ownership, you are understanding it in a proper way, that if you have the share of the company, then you are the owner of the company. So you have the relation with the company. Now have you understood what is the meaning of ownership relationship? That is, you have invested your capital, and if you are allotted the shares in the company, then you are the owner of the company. As we all know that shares can be issued only by public companies by getting themselves registered with SEBI, Security and Board Exchange of India, and further listing themselves in any of the stock exchange. You know what is stock exchange? Stock exchange is a place where the name of the company is enlisted, and after their permission only a company can issue the shares. So, as we all know, as prospectus is important, prospectus, you all know, in simple words, it is the details of the company. After going through the prospectus, as it contains each and every minute detail also of the company, a person thinks about it and decides whether he wants to invest or not, and how much he wants to invest his capital. So, prospectus is important, and in prospectus, all the details should be authentic, because public has to depend on prospectus. So, a public company can only issue the shares. A private company cannot issue the shares, but they may issue the securities. There are three ways in which a private company can issue securities, but a private company cannot trade their shares. They can only raise the capital through private placement, through bonus issues, through right issues. But their shares do not trade on public exchange and not issued through an initial public offering. This initial public offering means IPO. You all must have heard about IPO, that is when equity shares are given to the general public. Now, another word has come up in front of us, it is private placement. A private placement is a sale of stock shares or bonds which are given to pre-selected investors or institutions rather than on the open market. On the open market means the stock exchange. So, a private company doesn't have any rights to issue their shares, but they can raise the capital through different ways. It is an alternative to an IPO for a company seeking to raise capital for expansion. Now, these things, a public company, you all know that raises share capital through public issues, rights issue, bonus issue, and private placement. Along with the initial public offer, that is IPO, existing shareholders can offer part of their holdings to the general public through the prospectus by taking the permission of the board of directors. Now understand in the way that the company wants to raise the capital and then they can give shares in other form also, but for that they need to take the consent of each and every board member, the director of the company, and that is called as offer for sale. See, this is the offer which the investors, the shareholders are giving. Please be very careful. This is the offer for sale. This offer is proposed by the shareholders. All right. So be very careful. So along with IPO, existing shareholders can also offer part of their holdings to the general public through the prospectus by taking permission of the board of directors. To issue shares, company takes the help of various intermediaries like lead manager, registrar, transfer agent, bankers to the issue, underwriters, depositories, credit rating agency, stock exchange, etc. These are the intermediaries whose help a company takes to complete the entire process of a public issue. The company secretary initiates the process of issue securities with the help of these intermediaries by fulfilling provisions of prevailing laws. After obtaining sanction of prospectus from SEBI, the procedure of public issue can be done. This procedure is divided into two parts: the procedure for share application and the procedure of share allotment. Students, see, in this you will find various steps which we have to follow, but you may find it complicated. In order to make it easy, listen to this explanation and you will understand that the procedure which we are going to study further in this part of secretarial practice and commercial correspondence, you will find it very easy afterwards. See students, when you have to drink water and you are sitting alone on sofa in the living room, and the condition is that you have to get water by yourself from the kitchen and in a very disciplined manner. What will you do? You will just get up from the sofa, go to the kitchen, take the glass, fill the glass of water, drink the water. After drinking the water, you will keep back the glass and come back and sit back on sofa. What have you done? You have just drank water. But the procedure was very long. It is only long but not at all complicated. Students, the procedure for all these things are little long, but if you see the steps, you will understand that these procedures are very obvious and they are very simple. The only thing is that we have to think it logically. Now, whenever you go for any admissions or any place, you need to contact to the office. You need to take the forms. Along with forms, you take the prospectus of that institution. All right. So, prospectus of the institution tells you about the institution, and it has a form along with it. Simply, as you need to take the admission, you want to take the admission, so you need to fill up the form. So, in a simple word, what will you do? You will read the form, you will fill up the form, you will attach the documents, you will sign it, you will date it. After that, simply, what will be the next step? Obviously, it is the submission of the form. When you will be submitting the form, the receiver of the form, the person who is collecting the form, will check the form thoroughly. Now, if you have missed out something, that person will ask you to fill up it or rectify it. All right. So, all these things are known as the procedure. In the same way, when we fill up any of the forms, any of the applications, at that time we need to undergo certain procedures. In the same way, when the procedure for share application starts, it is divided into 4 parts. First thing, what the company has to do? A company has to open a bank account. A bank account to keep share application amount separately, so that it do not get mingle with the amount of the company, so that the company comes to know about the collection. So, they need to open a separate bank account in a scheduled bank. It should be a centralized bank. Here, when the company opens this account, to maintain the account, they have to collect the money for the share application to see whether they have achieved their target or not. It is called as minimum subscription. You all have heard about minimum subscription. You know about memorandum of association also. What is memorandum of association? That is, there are 6 clauses in the memorandum of association which a newly formed company has to fulfill. Now, when minimum subscription is not achieved by a company, then the company has to return all the amount, all the money which they have received with the application form, and that lead to the defame of the company. So, in order to protect from such defame, the company has to undergo underwriting contract. This underwriting contract is a contract between the company and the mediatories, those who promise the company that if the company fails to achieve the minimum subscription, then they will help the company to raise the minimum subscription. So, all these things are interrelated. So, company has to open a bank account. The company can open a current bank account in any scheduled bank for making transactions regarding the issue of shares. For the purpose of public issue, the company opens a special account with the bankers to the issue, which is known as escrow bank account. Students, this is very important to know about escrow bank account. This account is opened by presenting a copy of resolution passed in the meeting of the board of directors, and then other documents are given with it. They have to deposit all the money, including share capital and premium, all will be there in this account only. And if the shares are issued at premium, it will be transferred to the company's account only after completion of the process of share allotment. This account is closed after the completion of the process of share allotment. So this is very important, that a company opens the bank account, and after the completion of the process, the company has to close the account. You all must have heard about ASBA. ASBA. ASBA is the application supported by blocked amount. Now these days the share application money is blocked by the bank where the applicant holds his account. The money remains blocked till the share allotment is done, and the application money is transferred to the company's account only after the allotment of share. So this is again, the money remains with the applicant, and later on, if the applicant gets the share, then only then that money is released from the bank and is transferred to the company's account. The second step is receiving share application. Usually, after the sanction of prospectus, only after 5 days they can start the issuing of forms for share application. Before that, the company is not allowed. So minimum 5 days gap should be there in order to issue the forms for share application. And after that, after the date, within 3 to 5 days, public has to study, and they have to start filling up the form and give the form by 5th day of the open of the share form application. After that, the application is not accepted after the closing date. So they usually have 3 to 5 days for filling up the form and applying for the shares. Here, the investor will deposit the duly filled in share application form along with all details, signature and copy of PAN. PAN means permanent account number, to brokers who manage to deposit the application forms to banks recognized for ASBA process, so that the share application money can be blocked in the respective bank account of the applicant. And after that, the classification of shares continue. A statement of the share application is prepared after receiving share applications. Applications with incomplete information are rejected. Applications qualifying for share allotment are classified into various categories of investors. As per the SEBI guidelines, applicants are to be classified as retail investors, non-institutional, high net worth investors, institutional investors, employees of the company, if shares are reserved for the allotment to employees of the company. As per SEBI guidelines, it is necessary to reserve 10% of shares issued for retail investment. A company discloses the reservation made for each class of investors for shares to be allotted in its prospectus. The last, that is the share application and the statement of share allotment. After going through all the applications as per the instruction, as per the unanimous decision of the company allots the shares. It depends that how the company's policy is. It differs from company to company. If the company wants n number of shareholders, then they give shares to too many people so that all of them become their member of the company. But sometimes company's policy is different. They want only high investors, so they give shares to the applicants, those who have applied for maximum number of shares. So depending upon the rules and the policy of the company, a company issue the shares. Later on, the statement is given and thus the amount is shares are given to the shareholders and the blocked amount is released from the bank of the applicant and transferred to the company's account. Students, we have done one procedure of the allotment. Here I end with this so that you do not get confused. Kindly read the chapter and understand. If you have any queries, you can contact me. Thank you.